Welcome everyone, the Scurv podcast. Lance Scurv, your host. The power of a silent comeback. Not just a comeback, but a silent comeback. I love a good comeback story. I love a good comeback. And like LL Cool J said many years, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. It's the thing. When people write you off and they say you came back, you never left. They just dismissed you. And how many of us have been through that time and time again in life, in different ways? We notice it a lot in sports because it's highlighted, it's broadcast. A certain team wins and they've been shut down or considered losers before. A boxer, a cyclist, whoever it may be. Could be a person in business. They did really good, they went bankrupt, they were down and out, and they came back. The list goes on and on forever. But I want to speak about this. The moment before the move. Some people will hear these words as sound. Others will hear them as motivation. But very few will recognize them as a move. This is not just encouragement. This is confirmation. Messages like this don't appear by accident. You meet them when something inside of you has already started shifting. Long before change becomes visible on the outside, it happens within, quietly, without noise, without witnesses. That's the stage you're in right now. There is always a moment before elevation shows itself. A hidden season where nothing looks different, but everything feels different. Your thinking changes. Your awareness sharpens. Your patience grows. Your reactions slow down. You move with more intention, less emotion, more clarity. That inner shift is the real beginning. Not the results, not the success, not the recognition. The internal alignment comes first. If this feels familiar, it's because you've been here before. Not in the details, not in the people, not in the setting, but in the pattern. You recognize this space because it's part of your growth cycle. You didn't come here to be convinced. You came here to remember, to reconnect with something deeper than fear, doubt, or outside approval. This message that I'm sharing is not here to hype you up. It's here to activate what is already awake inside of you. Not to push you, but to remind you. Not to excite you, but to center you. Because what's happening now isn't emotional, it's structural. It's foundational. It's a rebuild from the inside out. This is the stage where your life begins to reorganize itself around who you are becoming, not who you were forced to be. And that kind of shift doesn't need announcements. It doesn't need proof. It moves on frequency. And frequency always changes environments before it changes outcomes. Elevation has a frequency. And when it starts moving, it disturbs everything built on insecurity. Not because you're loud, not because you're trying to prove something, not because you're calling attention to yourself, but because growth exposes weakness. Stability exposes instability. Healing exposes dysfunction. Confidence exposes fear. Your rise was never meant to be private. It was always disruptive. Every step forward challenges old narratives. Every level you grow past forces people to confront what they believed about you, what they labeled you, what they reduced you to, what they thought your limits were. There were people who didn't just doubt you, they worked against you, quietly, strategically, with smiles. They blocked doors you never knew existed. They spoke your name in rooms where you weren't present. They shaped stories about you that weren't true. They pretended to support you while hoping you failed. They needed you to stay small so they can feel large. You know what? Been there, experienced that many times. For a long time, it may have worked. You were overlooked, underestimated, ignored, pushed aside, treated like you didn't matter. But what they thought was your ending was only your preparation. They thought being buried meant your story was over. What they didn't understand is that you are a seed. Burial doesn't end seeds, it activates them. What felt like isolation was rooting. What felt like darkness was development. What felt like being forgotten was formative. You are being built in silence, strengthened in stillness, shaped where no one can interfere. What looked like delay was actually design. Now something has shifted, and they feel it. The same people who were comfortable when you were struggling are now uneasy. The same people who felt safe when you were quiet are now nervous. Because growth that comes from depth cannot be undone. Growth built from pressure doesn't collapse easily. Growth formed in truth cannot be reversed. Energy around you is changing. Conversations are changing. Rooms are changing. The way people respond to you is changing. Opportunities are aligning without force. Doors are opening without begging. Recognition is finding you without chasing. You're no longer pushing uphill. You're flowing forward. Your name is entering rooms you haven't walked into yet. Not through promotion, but through presence. Not through noise, but through impact. Influence doesn't need visibility to exist. It moves through consistency, through integrity, through authenticity, through substance. This shift is uncomfortable for certain people because it exposes what they were pretending not to see. It breaks the illusion they were living in, the illusion that they were ahead, the illusion that they were superior, the illusion that they were more deserving, the illusion that you needed them. They try to erase your influence, but energy doesn't lie. Influence built on truth cannot be deleted. Influence built on struggle cannot be erased. Influence formed in resilience only finds its way back into the light. Your healing unsettles them. Your growth confronts them. Your rebuilding exposes them. Not because you're attacking them, but because your existence contradicts the stories they told about you. I know this from personal experience. Here's the truth that changes everything when you see it clearly. They knew your worth before you did. That's why they targeted you. That's why they felt threatened. That's why they tried to control the narrative. They saw your potential before you recognized it in yourself. They sensed your depth, your presence, your power, your future. They weren't afraid of who you were. They were afraid of who you would become if you ever woke up to yourself. And now you have. There was a time when their words affected you. Their doubt hurt you. Their rejection cut deep. Their lies made you question yourself. You carried things that were never yours. You internalized projections. You wore labels that didn't belong to you. You shrank to survive. But not anymore. You see clearly now. You understand that what they said was never about you. It was about them. their fear, their insecurity, their limitations, their need for control, their need to feel important. You released their weight. You've reclaimed your mind. You've realigned with your purpose. You're not angry. You're not reactive. You're not trying to prove anything. You're awake. That's what they fear the most. An awakened version of you doesn't argue, doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't compete, doesn't explain, doesn't perform, doesn't seek validation. It moves with calm, with clarity, with confidence, with direction. You walk differently. You speak differently. You choose differently. You exist differently. Doors open naturally. Respect comes without force. Value shows up without demand. You are no longer surviving. You are building. You are no longer reacting. You are aligning. You are no longer trying. You are becoming. Everything you walked through mattered. The betrayal mattered. Yes, it did. The isolation mattered, and it surely helped. The silence mattered. The rejection mattered. The losses mattered. None of it was wasted. It shaped your discernment. It sharpened your judgment. It strengthened your boundaries. It deepened your wisdom. It grounded your spirit. You are now entering a season where what was taken is being returned, not just restored, but multiplied, not as revenge, not as payback, but as alignment. This elevation isn't about proving anyone wrong. It's about living right. It's about peace. It's about purpose. It's about identity. It's about freedom. It's about becoming whole. You are no longer fragile. You are powerful. Not loud powerful, not aggressive power, not ego power. Grounded power, calm power, stable power, quiet confidence, internal strength. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them wonder. Let them struggle to understand your growth. You owe no explanations. This level wasn't given to you. It was earned. Earned in darkness. Earned in silence. Earned in loneliness. Earned when no one was watching. Earned when no one believed. Earned when no one clapped. This isn't just success. This is embodiment. You are becoming what you always were beneath the noise. Whole, grounded, clear, focused, free. Walk boldly. Speak clearly. Live fully. You've upgraded. And that upgrade shakes every insecure spirit that hoped you would never rise again. But here you are, elevated, empowered, aligned, unstoppable. This is not a phase. It's a foundation. What you're building now is lasting, not temporary. It's not emotional. It's structural. It's rooted. It's stable. It's real. You no longer move for approval. You move for alignment. You no longer chase validation. You embody value. You no longer seek permission. You operate in purpose. Your presence is enough. Your growth is enough. Your evolution is enough. You don't need to announce it. It speaks for itself. This is your season of becoming, not proving, of embodying, not explaining, of aligning, not chasing. You are not who you were, and you will never go back. You didn't survive to stay small. You didn't heal to stay hidden. You didn't awaken to stay silent. You rose to rise. If you haven't experienced this before in your life, you will. Just don't let the naysayers permeate your thinking. Know in yourself. I just don't want to say believe in yourself. No, you have to know in yourself. The answer is inward. You don't need validation from these people. You need to go within yourself, connect with your creator, connect with that inner force and that inner voice, and you'll always rise. Trust me, I've been through the betrayals. I've been through getting written off. I've been through being ridiculed and looked at as being small while people try to steal my destiny. But I'm here, and I'm still here, and you're still here. And I'm on my way to the biggest win and series of wins of my life. Personal for me, not to show off, not to be loud, although people who are observing won't like it. But I don't care, because I'm not here to keep them happy in their hope for me failing. I'm here to shine. I'm here to share my talent with the world, to affect the world around me, to manifest all the talents that I have. And it's so many talents that I have. And you have to understand there are hidden seeds of greatness inside of you that you might not know about. Go within, extract them, know them, train them, execute them in the best way you can, and watch yourself rise. And nobody, especially those who tried to bury you, will ever be able to touch you again. The new manifestation of yourself to being who you were always supposed to be will guarantee that. Again, nothing will stop you. So now we have work to do. I still have work to do. I was written off at one time, ridiculed, said I would never become anything. Not by my home. My parents put other things inside of me positive to let me know I had it within me to endure any storm. But they're naysayers who are destiny stealers who think they can just knock you off. And it's impossible. So this is very personal for me because this came from the heart. And I know if it touched you, motivated you, I did my job. I'll let those words sink in and maybe you want to listen to them again or share it with somebody. But they're very much real to me. Much love to you all. Scurv out. On to the next one. Peace.